What's up? This is Classified. You're checking out Potato Salad Radio. Keep listening.
88.1 CKDU. Got two of my favorite people from the hip-hop scene are right here. Rels, as we know from the first hour. Ambition's here. Say hello, Ambies.
Hey, hello, people.
What do you think of this?
This is cool. I like it. I'm not sure what it is, but I like it.
I'm learning to make beats.
Yeah, you are.
I made this.
Nice.
I can't really hear it too.
Oh, your headphone might be down. Well, it needs like work and stuff,
man.
and chops and change it up. But you know, I want to talk about beats with you a bit. See, look, I
Word.
took it out right there. See how far it came out.
The little drop. Yeah, that's
See it?
cool.
Are you gonna come back?
Very
Come back? Oh, there it is.
You know what it reminds me of a little
Talk
bit,
to
man?
me.
Is
I'm listening. Yeah.
Red Bull did a documentary on Japanese video game music, and Flying Lotus was in it. And this kind of reminds me of that same style of like
Ooh,
Nintendo 8-bit Flying Lotus type stuff. It's
Well.
cool. I like it.
So, Mr. Ambies, you know, you've been here under the auspices of being a rapper,
Yeah.
but you also, something we kind of didn't talk about much, is your whole beat making end of things.
Doing beats.
Which I feel is like 50% at least of your kind of production in rap. Is that true? Or is that, like, am I putting too much weight on the beat making?
I would say, as far as stuff that I've released, it's definitely been more MCing. But
Yeah.
in terms of the last maybe year and a half, I've been doing probably twice as many beats as I do like writing verses. Every day I do beats, and then sometimes I'll write to them, and sometimes I'll just kind of do them just to do them.
So every day you carve out a period of time where you're working on beats.
Yeah.
So to me, I would call that studio time.
Yeah,
Like,
I
so
just
to
call
speak.
it free
Work time.
like free. Yeah, if I'm not doing anything.
How do you start building a beat? For being a guy who is, you know, obviously like deep in hip hop. So I guess this question, I think about this a lot with MCs, with any creative person. Like, how do you start something fresh without always kind of like, let me dig out that thing that worked before. Let me copy Ninth Wonder. Let me, like, you know, there's either that copy thing or there's the like, that worked, so let me go back. How do you try to like kickstart yourself into something fresh, something new?
Yeah. You know what's funny about trying to like copy the oh, I did this yesterday, so let me try the same formula today?
Yeah.
Is anytime that I do that, the thing that I make the second day is always like super whack. When I try and copy the idea that worked the day before, like I'll start it this way because yesterday I did the drums first, so let me do it this way.
Right.
You're not thinking clearly, and you're just trying to copy something you've already done,
Right.
instead of just focusing on what you're doing in the moment.
Right,
So,
right.
I just don't think about it, man. I go through records, and I try not to like copy a certain formula. It's just if I hear something I like, I take it and I go from there.
So is it a sample starts it off for you? Like it's like I
Yeah.
found something and then
Yeah, I'll find a sample or just a sound that I like, and then chop it, and then before I do any kind of arranging or like programming, I'll program drums. So I'll always have my drum sequence first, and then just kind of figure out the chops around that. Yeah.
What's your favorite machine to work with?
My favorite. I learned on the 2000 XL, which I actually got from DJ IV like 6 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, it was funny, man. He was selling it because he was upgrading to Machine.
Yeah.
So he was like, all right, I'm getting rid of some gear. Like, you know, do you want it kind of thing? So I bought that. I learned to make beats on that. And then now I'm on the 3000, which is that. So that came before the 2000. So it's like super antiquated. It's all zip disks, and it's like, you know,
Zip disks.
oh, bro, it's real. But the thing is, what you lose in workflow and being super efficient, like you can do everything in Machine super quickly. But on the 3000, it's like it takes me time to like chop. Everything is by numbers. There's no waveforms.
Whoa.
So I just have a 4-second loop. So if I need 8 chops, I just know I need to make it from 0 to 0.4 and then 0.4 to 0.12, you know, like,
What?
so yeah, it's really fun and great. And
Do you cut? Like, can you scratch and DJ like records? Are you is that part of it for you or not?
I can, I mean, I've DJ'd nights, but I don't consider myself a DJ. I can blend records, I can cut, I can do all that stuff, but I'm not advanced enough with it that I like consider myself any kind of,
Right.
I'm not proficient with it like that.
Right.
So I can do cuts enough to like do them on my own stuff or whatever, but I'm not like, you know, I'm not that guy.
When you go digging for records, I know that I could take someone who's into making hip hop and put them in like the jazz section, put them in the soul section, put them in a funk section. They're gonna find some stuff in there.
Yeah.
Do you ever like challenge the source by like going somewhere way off? Like, are you like, I found Czechoslovakian death grunge and like, that's where I'm gonna make my sweet soulful hip hop from?
Yeah, you need to do the Czechoslovakian death grunge because everybody, you know, everyone is doing the Curtis Mayfield or the like the super obvious stuff.
Yeah.
And then once you kind of have been doing it for a while, then you learn certain artists and labels, and you kind of go a little bit deeper and maybe do something that isn't like super common. But then you do need to challenge yourself and just do the thing that like nobody's heard. Like I made a beat last week. I had a record I got from it was either the Dollar Bin at Taz, I think, or maybe like a thrift store or something. This is a country record. It was Canadian too. They're from like Newfoundland or something. It's called the Mothers and Fathers or something. It's the old folk country record. But there's this one loop. It's only like 6 seconds. It comes out of nowhere and it's just super ill. And nobody would have the patience to like listen to this folk record.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
Right.
you really just need to be patient and just listen through stuff and you know, listen to the, yeah.